You don't want to walk in front of the camera?
I didn't want to ruin your perfect shot.
Oh, perfect shot. Well, if you're worried about my perfect shot, why are you bothering to be in here in the shop? You're right in my way. Well, we've got some odds and ends that we're screwing around with. I've got to pull the chopper back in, but I thought while I was waiting for Nate to get the oil changed on this 8360, we would crawl in underneath here, bend this safety chain holder back, and get it welded into place. And then we're going to bring the chopper in. We've got a few things to do to it. We had this head that was walking away from the chopper. Every once in a while during third cutting, auger would stop turning. I thought this radial pin clutch was wore on this side of the head, so we swapped this shaft out with the other head. That didn't make a difference. So Nate watched it one day. We pulled this shroud off the shaft that drives the head, and we seen that stayed turning. So we had determined that we had a problem with the drives. And what was happening is we've got enough play in this mount here and the hooks that it was walking away and it was slipping past this drive assembly. So I've got a set of brackets that I ordered for this head. We have a set of hooks that are going to go on the chopper, a new set. And if anything else, what we might do is we might take the mounts off of that other head, because I don't think we're going to get new mounts in here before we need them. They won't be here till tomorrow, and we might just have to, yeah. So now he's out of here, but I have set myself up to heat that up. So we'll heat that up, straighten it around, then we'll get the chopper in here and screw around with that. right, we have that all kind of welded back together. It's got a little character added to it because it's not quite as straight as the other side, but it's going to do the trick. And what we're going to do is we're going to get a little white paint on there. But we need to have that cool, let that cool. So I've got the chopper in here. And what we're going to do is we're going to swap out these hooks. You can't quite see on here at all, but there is some wear. There's some wear on this hook. There's a little bit of wear against the face of this on this chopper plate too, but not much. We could put a little bit of weld in there and then grind it off. But we'll go ahead and swap these out. This side over here I did replace last year because it was bent a little bit. We can take the brackets off of the other head, but then we've just got to put the new ones that we get back on that other one. So what I might do is try to get some weld fished in there to see if we can't get this to fit tight now, instead of taking stuff off of that other head just to put it back on. So we'll get these hooks changed while that's cooling down, and we'll get some paint on that hitch of that truck, and then I want to sharpen the knives on this chopper. Alright, we've got this lock assembly pulled out. I replaced the two J hooks here on this right side last year because I thought they were stretched out. To tell you the truth, we're really not wore all that much. There's a little bit on the hooks that were on the left side. However, this rod has a pretty good groove in it right here. So we're going to put this rod in, rotate it back around the other way. And we'll try to get a little more life out of this. I better buy a new one of them. It's wore here and this side as well. So we'll go ahead and toss this in there. And hopefully with it being rotated around a little bit, it'll tighten things up a little. All right, we are just about done with this project. We've got our new hooks on there. The old ones weren't wore all that bad. We're gonna save them. I replaced that side last year. This side was wore a little bit more than what I would like. I went ahead and ordered a new set of these brackets. However, they have not come in yet. I took these brackets off of the new head that we have. Here are the old ones. So I've got quite a bit of wear right there. And then there's some wear against the back side to where that's floating quite a bit. Now what it's actually allowing to happen is this drive coupler right here is coming away from this guy here. This guy here is spring loaded. So one more thing that we have to do is we have to take a grinder and grind this back a little bit. It's slightly ramped here now. We just need to put a sharper edge on that so that that can't slip past this guy here. I don't feel, well, I guess that's a little rounded right there. And then what would happen is, as soon as this started slipping, that spring wouldn't be able to pull it back this way. Originally, like I was saying, I thought it was that clutch over there. Then I had an idea maybe we put too much grease in here and it was allowing the grease to help with that spring not getting her together. But we're going to take a grinder, square up these edges, and get that to work, and then it should not slip on us again. We've got another project going on next door here. Jared has pulled this turbo off this C5 along with there was an extra manifold in here to cool the exhaust gases. That's off of there now too. And he's going to put a new set of gaskets in there and get the manifold and turbo back on. So we've got this extra tube here that is now off of there. The Cat engine, he is just waiting to get the engine out of the Mack so that he can transfer some parts over to it. This exhaust manifold kit, he didn't get the little tubes that go on the exhaust manifold studs. He's waiting for that. And, well, there's the turbo right there. Is this the correct turbo now? Yeah. Correct turbo to go on to it. Another thing that we got going on. You want to talk about this project, Nathan? Your piece of art that you've built and put together. What about a thought of the day? Everybody's missing the thought of the day. Don't tell us that we're going to think about that one. You got 1 minute. 1 minute. You walk to that bolt bed, and when you come back, you'll have a thought of the day. So we ended up buying a, well, this is called a tire shooter. And the idea of this is to put sidewalls on the bunk, sidewall tires that we use to cover the bunk with. This has a chain on it, kind of looks like a big, large chainsaw arm. You can run this chain forward and backwards. And the idea of it is you can take tires off the bunk, run the chain backwards, and it'll pull all the tires back to this point here. Then when you want to unload them, you turn the chain around the other way, run it that way, and you can spit. You can spit off a few at a time, or you can spit off the whole load. They're saying that this holds 100 tires. I don't know, 100 cut sidewalls. I don't know if that is correct or not, but they had to mount the brackets on here for our hookup, and they just got done putting the fittings in there. What'd you end up putting in there? Was that O-ring fitting there?
Yeah.
What are they, bulkheads?
Yep.
Why didn't you use the other ones? Didn't have the large end?
Yeah, we didn't have the AZ fittings.
Oh, okay. Have you ran this yet?
Yeah, that was.
Out is forward?
It is now.
It is now, okay. All right, and then what they're gonna do is put some kind of a bracket on here so that when we uncouple this, we can just hang it alongside. Because if this ends up down in here, it'll get pinched. Those the big ties?
Biggest ones we have.
Fancy. You know what I have? If you're going to be doing some welding, I have them hose holes. Wow, they're not for 1/2-inch hose though. Yeah. All right. So we'll do a little grinding on this head here. We'll get this squared up a little bit. that's ground down a little bit. We'll see how that works. And now we're going to bring the corn head in and work on that. All right, so we ended up getting the hay head all finished up, and we are now just draining oil out of these gearboxes on this corn head. Now we ended up putting all new knives on this last winter before we put this away, and this has got the heavy duty ones on there. I think they were just coming available here last year, and then I just got word today that John Deere has new numbers on. They've got new corn heads out, new hay heads. They're all numbered differently. I want to say this one, this is a 7, what is this one, Nate? Is it a 770? Decals are off it. It's like a, I want to say it's a 65R now or something like that. And then the hay heads have changed too. When we bought that new hay head, that was a 649. And they had a 46R that was totally redesigned. No drive chain on that left side. But that one was like 15 foot wide, and I didn't want that one. That was a 46R. I think they've got a 35R that's that 12 foot version. So the new pricing on choppers is out. So what does that mean, Nathan? That means that they're out, right? Do you have a thought of the day?
No, I
Come on, dude.
don't.
You're letting everybody down. You're letting everybody down. Well, we've got to get these gearboxes drained and then install new oil. And then I don't know if corn is going to go a week from today or not. We might just be sitting and waiting, huh, Nathan? So, all right. All you need is some more buckets. All right. Well, this is now ready to go into corn. We got the oils changed on all of the gearboxes. That took about 3 hours. And everything is all new as far as the oil goes on all of the different gearboxes to run the drums, along with the drive gearboxes that are on the back side. So we're going to get this out of here, get our oil mess cleaned up off the floor, and get our next project in here. Here, got the exhaust manifold on the C5, and you can see that is not in here. So, when's your bushings coming? Yeah, so we'll get this out of here and get our next project in. Alright, so this is our next project. This is a 7730. We had this on the merger here last week, and Nate had noticed that this inside of this wheel here was all covered in oil, and you could see a little bit of a drip down the sidewall of the tire there. This has been half-ass washed, so this has been cleaned up. And what we have is an axle seal that is gone, and it's more than likely has an axle bearing that is gone. So we're gonna get the dual off. We'll get the inner wheel off. We're gonna strip everything off of the axle. Then we're gonna drain the oil out of it. Being that the brakes are good on this tractor, this oil should be good enough to use in our trucks, in the hydraulic systems on the trucks. Those trucks are holding between 35 and 50 gallons. Once in a while we'll get a hydraulic pump that'll leak or something. Oil will go into the manure. We don't know it's leaking until the tank is about empty. And rather than putting new oil in, expensive oil, we might as well use oil that has come out of the tractor here. Again, this hydraulic oil is clean. It is high trans. The hydraulic oil for the trucks, all that has to be is just a straight hydraulic oil. So we're going to dump it in this barrel here, and we'll get this final drive off, and we'll probably send this final drive over to Kaz. They have a stand for that axle. Now this tractor isn't all that big. It's got just 20.8, 38 tires on it. Doesn't have the big 50-inch wheels. However, we do have, there's 900 pounds of weight on the inner part of that wheel. So let's go ahead and get this apart. It's just gonna be a basic tear down is all. We'll check the brakes. We'll see what they look like. We did the brakes on this tractor like 4,000 hours ago. So the brakes should be okay, but we'll take a peek at them. If they're bad, then we're gonna have to replace the brakes on it. So we'll go ahead and get the wheels off and get started on it here. All right, so we've got the wheels off. That was a little bit of a mongrel to get that wedge style hub off the actual end of the axle. Now we just got to get the oil drained out, and then we can get this final drive off. Okay, so we have the oil drained, and we now have all of the bolts removed. This booger here has got the fuel tank that's real close to this housing. So there was a 90-degree elbow that went in there, and rather than break that off, we pulled that out, and then we put a regular pipe plug in there. So I've got a bolt on the bottom of the housing, and we're just going to very carefully try to get that out of the housing. I probably better have one of them guys put a bolt in here just to keep it from turning. It shouldn't turn. I'm on the right side of it here, so, or the left side of it, the front side. So we'll go ahead and yank that out. Get ready to catch some oil with a pail. Stand from back there because we're light. Get a pail ready, Jay.
I put it over there.
The brakes are... Ooh. What? Got a little heating
going on there.
There. But I don't know, we're in here. I think we'll replace them.
Is that the tractor that with an oil overflow or something? Or is that a different one I'm thinking of?
Yeah, I don't know, they're scored up. They're about 3/4 gone, you know? So,
Might as well put new ones in there.
yeah. Well, we've got this off. We are going to replace these brakes as long as we're at it. They're about 3/4 worn, and we might as well just do it because we're here. So we're gonna send this to Kaz and let them do the bearing on it. And yeah, but that is going to do it for this video. We're gonna go into chopping some hay here now, and we want to thank everybody for watching, right, Jay? Yeah. All right, take it easy, folks.